Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about getting the perfect angle for cutting pipe for welding. So when you're trying to join metal together, there's two places you can do it. I use PVC for this just to speed the video up, but steel pipe's the same exact thing. In any case, you've got an angle cut here, which in this we did a 45, and you've got an end where you're trying to attach in the center of a piece of pipe. Now on this, you always use this pipe size for your drill bit and cut this with this pipe size, and then it'll fit perfectly over this one. We're going to start off by attaching these pipes to the 45-degree angle. Now this is all about cutting, so I'm using PVC just to save metal. So in order to get a perfect 45-degree angle on this, it's easier than you might think. So I've got this little protractor that I downloaded from daisypaper.com, and it's a freebie. I just found it online. They're not sponsoring us or anything. But we're going to fold it in half. And we're going to get it lined up as well as we can with the zero up. As you can see, now we've got the zero at the top of our page. And now we want to cut this. We're going to want to cut each of these to get a 45-degree angle. We're going to cut each of these at 22.5 degrees. So we'll go here, and we'll go 20, 21, 22, and somewhere around 22.5. Let's go on this side. So right about there. Now we're going to take our razor knife and cut the paper right there. Now in order to turn that 22.5 into a 45-degree angle, there it is. That's your 45-degree angle right there. So that's what we want to cut. So notice we got them upside down to each other. We're going to put one on the pipe this way to get that angle, and the other one on the other pipe this way to get our perfect angle. So let's line these up and mark them and cut them. There you go. That'll do it. So let's mark it. And that's one. Now we're going to take our other pipe and do the same thing. Get it lined up as well as we can. And the more patient you are lining up your cut, the better your cut's going to be in the long run. Well, there's our mark for the other one. So now if you look, we've got our cuts. So let's take them over and cut them. And there you have it, a perfect 45-degree cut. So if you wanted, say, a 20-degree cut, you would go at 10 here and repeat the process. You want a 60-degree cut, then you go to 30 and repeat the process, and so on and so forth, all the way around to 180 degrees, which is, again, a straight pipe. You don't need a math degree to attach pipes at whatever angle you want. Just remember the little tricks you just saw. So now we're going to talk about attaching pipes in the middle, attaching one pipe to a center section of another pipe. Now I've seen a lot of videos and I've tried a lot of different ways to cut the perfect little circle here, to cut the perfect radius, to attach them, but we found what we think is the best way. Now working with the little plastic pipe that we're using for demo purposes, it's pretty easy because this pipe will hold still and it doesn't give you the fight that a steel pipe would give you. So let me show you what we've tried. When I first started doing it, the first thing that occurred to me is put a hole saw right here and just hold the pipe down and drill through it. Yeah, it's not easy to hold this pipe still because with a metal pipe, it's going to bind up. And you're not going to get good cuts. So I decided to try this. And this is a great little tool. And it just goes down. The problem you hit with a steel pipe is when it binds up, it's going to do this. and it's going to jump out and it's going to give you just ugly cuts. And this was a little bit arbitrary to work with. So after about 5 different tries with this, I just gave up on it. I got so frustrated with this and pipes shaking loose and everything, I went and bought this for my drill press. Now, a drill press has been around for a while. It gets used for house projects only usually, but in this case, it occurred to me it'd be a perfect pipe cutter. All I did is went and bought this little $30 pipe vise, which bolts on and then unbolts pretty easy, which is part of the reason I like it better than like a milling type attachment, because it stays off to the side, it holds the pipe super firmly, and it gives me plenty of room to drill. Okay, let's get our pipe in place. Now, the most important part of the whole thing is getting it lined up correctly. Now I'm looking at it from this side and I'm seeing it looks pretty centered. So we'll take that, we'll tighten her down. Let's double check her. Yep, that looks pretty good. You can see our little point here is where we're going to end up. So now when you do this, you want to make sure you oil it. Now that first little drill bit hole won't matter much, but as it goes through, you're going to create a lot of heat and a lot of friction. And you want to take your time, nice and gentle. Let the machine do the work. Don't work for it, make it work for you. If you push too hard, you're going to generate a ton of heat, and it's going to burn up the bit like there's no tomorrow. I'm doing very gentle. I can do it with one finger. And there you have it, a perfect T. And if you flip it over and look at the other side, it's also a perfect T. Now, if this pipe were a larger diameter, we'd use a larger hole saw, because the cut on this pipe is based on the size of this pipe. So if you want to do something other than a 90 and you're joining in the center of a pipe, then you rotate your deck to the number of degrees of the cut you want. Much simpler than doing it on an end cut, because all of the cut is on one of the pipes. So, all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free, and it really is what we work for. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.